If the Niners make the playoffs, they have a 49% chance to make it, according to New York Times right now. The Vikings have like a 56% chance. The Niners are at 49. So they're right on the outside looking in. They could definitely make it. And if they do, will Jimmy Garoppolo return next year, assuming
No.
he's the one that takes him there?
I mean, obviously, I'm predicting, right? I'm not saying I know, but I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no with as much conviction as I have right now. I don't think he returns. I know
Do you not
it's a
want him
little
to
nerve
return, or
wracking.
do you think he won't?
I think he won't.
Okay.
Um, I know it's a
Because
little
I think
nerve
he will.
wracking given that Collinsworth mentioned it as a possibility in the Colts broadcast, and
Yep.
that was when Garoppolo was basically up and down
Yep.
the entire season, right? The Lions game was good, the Eagles game was bad, the Packers game was okay, Seattle was very, very mediocre, and he got hurt. And then Trey Lance played versus Arizona, and then you come back to the Colts and they suggested that, which was a little bit shocking because
Right.
well, I thought we all thought Trey Lance's play was encouraging against
Right.
Arizona. So
It
why
was.
would
Yeah.
Collinsworth say that? Right. And so then you mentioned that, and then we heard a little bit of it in yesterday's broadcast too. But I just think they can't. I look at every move this organization has made, and so many decisions have been, and so many opportunities have been trying to upgrade at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And they believe they upgraded at quarterback, trading up this much to quarterback. And to me, if they believe that's an upgrade by if he sits year one, you got to play him year two. First of all, I don't understand it for Trey Lance. How can the dude go 3 years without playing football and then you expect him to be a star? Two, I think it's horrible use of their salary cap and their entire situation. The fact that they gave that much up for Trey Lance and then they're paying that much for Garoppolo and they think that's the way to handle their quarterback situation. I think it would be a terrible use of that, especially when you have this golden ticket of Trey Lance on a rookie contract in terms of cost control wages for 4 years, allowing you to build the most stacked team possible around him. I think from finances, it makes no sense. There's just nothing about keeping Garoppolo that makes sense to me, other than the fact that the people on the broadcast are saying it, which means that they heard it from somebody.
Agree. And that's why I'm saying if the Niners make the playoffs, I do think Jimmy Garoppolo will return. Not because it makes sense, but because we're starting to hear the whispers. I mean, I didn't really think it made sense to keep. I mean, everyone pretty much agrees it didn't make sense. You and I agree to trade for Trey Lance and keep Jimmy Garoppolo. It's like, what? But if they did it once, they could do it again because they don't think there's anything wrong with it. They think it's a good thing for Trey to sit and develop. I mean, Aaron Rodgers on the bench for how long? 3 years.
I
So
don't want to
this
hear about
this could go
Aaron
on for
Rodgers
a
when he
very
was. This
long
is
time.
not Brett Favre.
This
This
could
is
go on
not
for a
Brett
very
Favre.
long time. Here's the thing. I just don't. I'm open to the idea that Kyle Shanahan loves Trey Lance and is really eager to coach him and has these plans for him, but I just haven't seen it. I haven't seen the enthusiasm in the way he talks and the way he coaches him. In any, I'm waiting. I'm open minded and I'm not writing it off. I'm just waiting to see it, and I haven't seen it yet. So the fact that he's pretty much shut down Trey Lance and all in with Jimmy, it seems to me if you go to the playoffs and it's even harder to make the transition next year. You could have made it this year. You were coming off a 6-10 year. Jimmy was hurt. You got Trey Lance, but coming off a playoff appearance, and now Lance is 2 years removed from any action, and he still is the kind of guy who, first of all, who's to say Trey Lance would even play well next year? Let's go there. Let's go right there. Trey Lance hasn't played in 2 years in this scenario, and if he does play next year, the expectation that he's going to be Patrick Mahomes, right?
Well,
That's the
yeah,
expect.
right.
Oh well,
That's
Mahomes
what
sat
most
for a
people would
year.
be thinking, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, we're getting rid of Jimmy Garoppolo, who took us to the playoffs. So now Trey's going to lead us to the Super Bowl
Well,
in his
my
first
my
year.
my take has always been that there's going to be growing pains with him next year too. I don't think he's Patrick Mahomes, where he's going to hit the ground running and
I
have
don't
one of the
either.
greatest
I think he
quarterback
needs
seasons we've ever
experience.
seen. Which, but
Right.
then that's also why you and I have been like, just put him in, just put
Play
him in,
him
just put him in.
now.
But
That's what I'm
here's the
saying, man.
thing though,
That's what I'm
Grant.
saying,
Here's the
man.
thing with Garoppolo. I know that you think Shanahan has been a little bit unenthusiastic about Trey Lance. But I actually
Okay.
think Shanahan has been medium about Trey Lance, because if you want to hear unenthusiastic, you should hear Matt LaFleur talk about Jordan Love.
Tell me.
That is real
Tell me. Because I'm not in
unenthusiastic.
the Midwest. Let me know.
Basically, I don't think he's ever complimented Jordan Love. I don't think I've ever heard him say a single positive thing about Jordan Love.
Okay. Interesting. Good to
I
know.
don't think. And
Good to know.
Shanahan does say positive things about Trey Lance pretty
Okay,
consistently.
fair enough.
He just always adds it, by no means it was perfect. He always puts the little disclaimer in front of it. But Matt LaFleur on Jordan Love is
Fair.
way more. And I understand the Favre Rodgers, the Rodgers Love situations, but come on, Grant. Jimmy Garoppolo is nowhere near the quarterback of Brett Favre or Aaron
Hold on.
Rodgers.
Let
It
me
would
just put
be
it real clearly,
foolish.
real simply. If Jimmy makes the playoffs, I think it's really hard for Kyle Shanahan to move off of him at that point because the expectations for Trey Lance would be sky high, right? Okay, well you have to be better than a playoff quarterback, not a guy who was hurt last year, a guy who was healthy and made the playoffs. Be better than that, and who's to say he will be? So you don't even know how ready Trey Lance is going to be until he comes back for training camp or whatever. And so you're
But
going to trade Jimmy Garoppolo before then. I think they're
I
keeping Jimmy if
I
he
don't
makes
wanna
the
hear
playoffs.
that. I
I
do
think they're
not wanna
keeping
hear
Jimmy if he
that.
makes the
Look,
playoffs.
look, you have to have the courage of your convictions. You had the conviction to trade up that much to go draft
When have
him,
they had that?
then no matter what, you have to move off of Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't wanna hear this type of talk from you, Grant. I don't wanna hear it. I'm not buying it.
Gentlemen's bet that if Jimmy Garoppolo makes the playoffs, he will enter training camp as the starter and he will be the week 1 starter next year. And
Okay,
the Niners will
let's do it.
slow play Trey Lance harder than you have seen any team do it. And the fact that it'll be historically unprecedented will only make Kyle Shanahan smile.
Okay, if you pick whatever you want. If I win this
All right.
bet,
All
the
right.
only Shan's shirt that you avoided during the draft, you
I
have to
did.
wear the only Shan shirt. But
All
I
right.
don't want you to wear it for the show. I
Okay.
want you to wear an only Shan shirt to a presser and ask Kyle Shanahan a question wearing only Shan.
No, that's unprofessional, but we'll find something to
Oh,
do
okay,
that's
okay,
I can't go that far, but we'll do something good.
okay, okay,
Because
okay.
honestly, if he makes a transition to Trey Lance next year, I will have grossly underestimated him. So I will happily do something to express my admiration and my regret for underestimating him because I'm
Okay,
basically
okay.
saying you don't have it in you to make the bold
And
move. You're going to stick
if
with
he
Jimmy
does
until Jimmy the wheels fall off on that one.
if he does stick with Jimmy, what would you like for me to do then?
Oh man, it's just a gentleman's bet, dude. Yeah. Well, by then this will be next year, right? You'll be out of
Yeah.
college. You'll be making money. Okay, now I'm gonna need a bottle of wine, a nice one.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Okay.
All right, all right, let's answer some questions.
There's the shake.
Drunk Leprechaun
Leprechaun.
says, kind of an irrelevant question at this point, but what do you think about moving McGlinchey to right guard and keep Moore at right tackle? Well, Moore didn't look so good at right tackle to me. What do you think? Didn't he get benched for
Yeah, I
Compton?
mean, it's his first game. I
Yeah,
them and
true.
him and Compton switched out. I mean, McGlinchey at right guard is a terrible idea. He was terrible. The only time we saw him play right guard week 1 versus
He's a
Minnesota,
better
he
fit at
was
tight
so
end than
bad.
right guard. He's
Yeah.
slender. Have him as like a move tight end. He'd be Charlie Warner. They should throw to McGlinchey in the red zone because he's 6'8". You know, I'm just
Trent
saying.
got up. Trent
He
got
did get
up.
up. He didn't get that separation. They probably should bench him for a couple of weeks. Jimmy will get
They got to
traded.
check his GPS.
Jimmy will get traded, but it will be after the Rodgers and Wilson bidding war. So maybe get a conditional 3 like Wentz. They can't keep him. Okay, so this is part of the same topic. Let's say I'm wrong. The Niners make the playoffs. Because let's say I'm wrong. I'm usually on the conspiracy theory anyway. The Niners make the playoffs. Jimmy regains his trade value and they trade him boldly. What do they get? And where does he go?
Third round pick, second round
Third,
pick.
second.
The issue is always going to be his contract, right? I don't think that it's his trade value. Well, his injuries is part of why you wouldn't trade for him. But let's say you feel like he's going to be healthy. I think most people agree while Jimmy Garoppolo is a solid quarterback, he's not a franchise changer. Sadly, he's paid like a franchise changer. So you're not going to get the value that you think like let's say you think every starting quarterback is worth a first. You're not going to get that when if Garoppolo was making 18 million, you're getting a first for him.
That's
He
right.
makes 26 million. You're not going to get a first for a starting. You have to pay a price for the contract that the other team is going to have to
I'll
take upon
gladly
him.
take a third round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo. Gladly.
I would
Gladly.
too. I would too.
Take
And
that.
by the way, there's a
Because you
couple other
weren't getting a
names.
third for him last year.
There's a couple other names that I think will pass Jimmy up in the market. First, Derek Carr. He has one more year on his deal after this year. Vegas is a mess. Are they going to re-up him? Will Derek Carr want to re-up? That's a name that you could probably put in the same type of situation as what Matthew Stafford was last year, a little worse quarterback. I think Carr is one. Then the other one would be I feel like guys like Daniel Jones, Baker Mayfield, if they're not going to get extended, what are their teams going to do with them? They're still young and pretty talented, especially Jones, I would say, because you don't have to pay him yet. He could get traded the same way Darnold got traded. So I feel like if you put those names out there like that, I think it becomes a little bit harder to trade a guy, who's 30. We kind of know what he is. He's not as good as the Carrs, the Wilsons, or the Rodgers, but he's not as young or has the potential of Baker or Jones.